Now, straight talk. The Film Cynics on C-FAX 1070.
Welcome back to the Film Cynics. Steve and Brian sitting in on a Sunday afternoon talking movies, television, and pop culture. Hope you had a pleasant news break. And we'd like to slide right in to review a DVD right now.
Who wants a DVD review?
And yes, as our cameraman / smart aleck, Adam Lee, pointed out, this is actually not a DVD review per se. This is a Blu-ray review. Alliance Films is releasing the Lord of the Rings trilogy on Blu-ray on Tuesday, and it's actually very cool. I mean, when it showed up at my door, I was trembling with joy and excitement. It's got 9 discs for 9 writers for 9 companions, so it all sort of makes sense in a kind of a weird way. It all synergizes.
Yeah.
So on those discs, there's the 3 digital copies for each of the movies. Plus, there's each of the movies that are on a single Blu-ray. Plus, there is 1 disc for each movie of features. So there's
that sounds like a pretty good deal.
It's a pretty good deal, except when you boil it down to some of the nitty-gritty. But let's talk about the good first.
Okay.
So the good is full 1080p transfer of the film, and it looks. I don't know. It's hard to judge. I really wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah, of course.
And I can't judge exactly if it is. I think that there was a lot of the times when I was checking to see how it was looking, that I was looking at maybe they're in the Mines of Moria or something, so where it's really dark, and so maybe that's why things look a little grainy.
But for a series of movies that was almost entirely done digitally, like it might have been shot on film, like the actors, but everything else is created by computers.
Yeah.
So everything's done digitally. To transfer it to Blu-ray in a high-res digital form should be amazing.
It just looked a little
should look
murky.
better than it ever looked before in its life.
I wanted somebody to lend me their 50-inch TV so I could do a side-by-side comparison, but nobody would for whatever reason. So, yeah, I mean, I have a set myself on DVD, and so I think I had some idea of what to look forward to, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I was entirely impressed with the picture transfer.
Because when I watched The Lord of the Rings on DVD, I never saw it in the theater, but when I did watch it on DVD, I was blown away about how good it looked. Like, it was an amazing looking movie. Like, everything was so good. The scenics were amazing. The quality was phenomenal. So you'd think on Blu-ray it would be even better, but it's not.
Yeah, it's hard to say. What was great though is the audio transfer. It was just, I mean, although when you're going from DVD to Blu-ray as far as the audio quality going up, it's not remarkably better, but it is really good. Really, really, really good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was listening with headphones on just so I could get the whole experience. And so, yeah, still is moving, still really pumped up. And there are special scenes that I was waiting to watch that with whether it was scenes that involved music or scenes that involved, like, really a lot of battle sounds, everything sounded magnifico.
Well, there's no excuse, though, in this day and age, DVD or Blu-ray, to have a poor quality sound.
Right.
Like, it's just, sound is so easy to do in terms of the compression and the quality you get out of compressing it, that you can put 7 channels on a disc and it should sound amazing. Mm-hmm. That should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, and so this one it's a 6.1 mix. So I mean, it'll hit most of the speakers. I think there was on the version that I have, which we'll get to. It had up to a 7.1 mix, but this is only 6.1. But it's still.
I'm a fan of anything 5. Like, as long as you give it to me in 5.1, I'm happy because I don't have 7 speakers, and if I did have 7 speakers, it wouldn't change the experience that much, really, when it comes down to it. So as long as it's done at least 5.1 and had some thought put into it, then that's good.
Yeah. Now, the special features, there's a lot of stuff on there. They are offering a lot of stuff. 1 disc, full disc for each film in special stuff. However, they're DVDs, not Blu-rays.
Really?
So there's not as much on there, and it's not in high def.
So we're half right with our review of DVDs today.
Yeah, so it's half on, half off. I mean, hey, the digital copies, those are DVDs.
That's a really interesting move, to put out a Blu-ray set and call it a Blu-ray set of Lord of the Rings, but not have every disc be a Blu-ray disc and not put your special features in Blu-ray.
Well, in all fairness, there's all kinds of sets that do that. The special edition Blu-ray of Blade Runner that came out, a few of those discs were DVDs.
Fair enough, but having said that, Blade Runner's special features were probably all shot in standard definition when they were done, where Lord of the Rings, all their special features were shot in HD.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure.
There's no excuse for that here.
Well, I'm not sure who's dropping the ball, whether it's the studio or if it's the distributor that sort of threw everything together, and they just couldn't get the rights to everything good.
how would they not be able to get the rights though? Like if you're owning the movie, able to put it out, you should be able to put out the best quality that you can.
Well, generally, now this is something I think a lot of people may not be tuned into, is the fact that special features aren't necessarily made, well, in fact, aren't made by the same companies that make the films. Basically, you contract out. You have some guy on set who's been shooting this stuff, or maybe he's just doing it as a little side project. So,
no, it's a big deal to get a special feature.
So you actually you're not just going to, say, New Line Films and saying, okay, give me everything you have. Well, no, actually, you've got to go to this company, this company, this company, this company, and all these other guys, and you got to pay out individually for each little special documentary that they're doing.
Well, most of the documentaries and special features on films are done by one company. Usually. One guy is contracted out, and he hires a crew, and they shoot and edit and post everything. But having said that, he doesn't own them.
Well, for such a diverse amount of stuff as well, like it was mixed in London, it was shot in New Zealand. I'm sure there was other parts that were done in the United States. So you get, it's all coming from all kinds of areas.
Having said that, but you've got to remember, it's Lord of the Rings. It's not like we're doing some cheap Canadian indie film that you're like happy to get a special feature. It's Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, probably some of the greatest movies ever made. There should be no excuse for DVD quality special features on a Blu-ray disc.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So there's a drawback right there.
That shouldn't happen.
Now, another one that I noticed, and it might seem like a trivial little thing, but it was a big deal to me. Terrible menus, really small. Couldn't read anything that was written on the thing. So, like, when you're doing your pop-up menu and you're looking you want to find out, you want to go to this chapter, you want to go to this part of the movie, it's too small. So
on your 50-inch TV, it was too small.
It was, on my 50-inch TV, it was too small. So on this giant part of the screen is all for it's got Lord of the Rings and big round thing and a nice moving graphic in behind, but in the foreground, when the stuff that you're supposed to actually be reading, way too small. So I don't think that was thought through too well.
That's uncalled for.
I think it maybe should have gone for a more side split. So the left 2/3 and then the right third could have been just permanent graphics, and the left 2/3 could have been things written out properly.
You're right, because for the first time I watched the Blu-ray of the Sherlock Holmes that we reviewed last week, and I watched the special feature, the making of, and it was amazing how well they did it. But the menus were great. Like, they were big and they popped up, and you could read everything.
You have to be able to read everything.
Easy to navigate through, and that's the way it should be. They shouldn't make it a challenge.
Yes, exactly.
So this comes out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I already own this. Say I already own this. Would you recommend me going and upgrading to Blu-ray?
Okay, if you're a super fan, I'd say no. And now this is why. Now, I mean, I really enjoyed this set for the most part, but it is not the extended version. Now, I don't know if people know that, but each film came out in a 4-disc DVD set. Each one. And so I have all 3 of those on DVD. So that's the extended collection. These are not the extended films. So each feature, as far as having been me watching all the extended versions several times over, each film now I consider to be incomplete. There are details, there are scenes, there are all kinds of interesting things that are going on in the extended director's versions that are not in here. So, you don't know how old Aragorn really is. You don't see the whole thing with Treebeard's little personal little garden where he brings the hobbits to. There's all kinds of little things in there that you're not getting, and that would really have helped to flesh it out. So, I mean, if you're waiting for the Blu-ray of it to come out and you're really a super fan, wait a little bit longer. I couldn't get a straight answer as far as when they are going to be putting out the extended version on Blu-ray, but it is coming, and I would wait for that.
Okay, and if I'm not a fan and I don't own anything?
If you're just willing to shell out $50 for the set, that's how much it costs. You can shell out $50 on Tuesday and you'll have it. You never have to worry about it again.
$50 is pretty good for 3 Blu-rays.
For a 9-disc set, for $50, yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah. And so, if you're just looking to just have it in your set and you don't know anything about the extended versions, and that's fine. You can just go out and do it. If you want all the features and all the extended stuff, everything, I'd wait probably another year.
All right, sounds good.
It's probably going to be a lot more, like twice as much.
Oh, for sure. I'm probably going to box it's super huge too.
Yeah.
We got a sword in it. It'll be awesome.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be geeking out. Stay with us.